I'm CJ Peterson of cjpetersonwrites.com, and welcome to the Treehouse. Today's book we're going to be reading Fred and Ted Go Camping. But of course, before we start reading our book, we got to meet our little guys who picked out the story for today. This is Chief. Chief is our little guy that we adopted in September of 2019. He loves climbing trees and eucalyptus leaves and cuddling and finding, of course, all sorts of little adventures too while he's exploring. Then, of course, our other little guy is Sarge. We got him in July of 2019. Again, he also enjoys exploring and getting himself into all sorts of trouble. They try to keep each other out of trouble, but it doesn't always work. Together, they are Chief and Sarge, and you can find their real-life adventures under Chief and Sarge tab on cjpetersonwrites.com. Now for today's story, Fred and Ted Go Camping. Fred and Ted were friends. They liked to go camping in the woods. Do you guys like to go camping? We think it's fun. One day they packed their cars. They were going camping. They drove to the woods. Fred took many things. Ted took few things. Which one do you think is more prepared? I'm thinking Fred. They parked their cars and walked into the woods. Fred liked this spot. Ted liked it too. Fred had a hard time with his tent. Ted hasn't had an easy time with his tent. That night, Fred was awake. Ted was asleep. The next morning, Ted woke up early. Fred woke up late. Ted's enjoying this a little bit more than Fred. They took their boat to the lake. Fred took the heavy end. Ted took the light end. They put the boat in the water. Ted stayed dry, and Fred got wet. They fished. Fred used a pole. Ted used a net. Ted got 10 little fish. Fred got one big fish. And he doesn't look like a happy fish either. Splash! The boat tipped over. All the little fish jumped out. Fred and Ted swam away from the big fish. Ted swam fast. Fred swam fast. Ted ran fast. Fred ran faster. Now Ted was hungry. Fred was hungrier. Then they heard a little bird. Look up in a tree, look down at your feet, and you will soon find something to eat, sang the little bird. Fred looked up, he saw nothing. Ted looked down, he saw something. Berries. Fred looked up again. Bonk, something hit Fred on the head. They even found some crab apples. They went back to camp. Ted ran with the berries. Fred walked with the apples and nuts. They cooked the apples and the nuts in a pan on a fire. That actually sounds pretty good. They ate it all up. Ted ate slowly. Fred ate quickly. What about the berries? They saved the berries for last. Yum! Thank you for watching Fred and Ted Go Camping. And thank you for enjoying the Treehouse with us today. This is Chief and Sarge, and I'm CJ Peterson of cjpetersonwrites.com. Until next time.